Hello and welcome back to Speed Model. This is it, episode 10, the season finale. Basically what we've been doing last episode was to, finish up with texturing and then do a bit of further modeling to make the place look like it has been lifted. You know, so that the place doesn't look like just a photo out of a catalog. It actually looks like someone lives there. Basically all we're gonna do today is to continue that. To add just little details everywhere so the place feels more alive. So yeah, this is the last episode. You're watching episode 10 of Speed Model. We begin the final episode of the series by building a little snow globe. It's a really simple shape, a sphere with the bottom removed and scaled up. I add a small layer of snow on the inside and then begin to build the house in the snow. I had some trouble getting the interior to show. Turns out the outer layer of the snow globe still casts shadows, making the inside black. Upon fixing that, I also plant some very simple trees in the snow. I turn my attention to the wardrobe, building a horizontal bar across the top. Then, using box modeling, I build a simple t-shirt. Extruding it, I try using boolean operators to carve out a collar in the shirt. It takes several tries to get the shape perfect. With that done, I build a lazy hanger, modeling only the part that comes out above the collar. I form it into a hooked shape and place it into the wardrobe. The scale was really far off at first. I tweak everything up, color the shirt, and then duplicated it once over, making further tweaks before also putting that in the wardrobe. Then, I built a little radio clock for the bay window. After getting the shape right, I pop in a GIF to design the display. I simply paint several 7-segment displays and pop back into Blender to apply them to the clock. I make the material emissive like these displays normally are. I also wanted to add a simple full-length mirror. After trying to shift the shelves around, I decided to do away with one of them, putting a mirror in their place. Then, air conditioning. Using a long cuboid, I chop off one of the edges slightly at a diagonal, filling it and extending it inwards to create that typical shape. I duplicate the mesh around the house. Then, we turn our attention to the bathroom. I build a mat at the shower door. Then, I added a little bit of water to the toilet. I was going to go for a ripply water surface at first, but it looked rather unnatural, so I got rid of the ripples. I also felt that the room was oddly dark, so I added an extra light to simulate the light bouncing in from the corridor. Then, I built a simple drain texture by drawing out the typical drain shape and pattern in GIMP. Back in Blender, I add a drain to the shower using the texture I've just built. Time for something completely different, pizzas. In GIMP, I prep a few pizza textures. Then, I build a box, mapping cardboard to it. The pizza itself is simply a cylinder. I had to remake the mesh so that the vertices met in the middle. This of course makes slicing possible. I remove a slice and repair the meshes. Then, I subdivide each mesh and apply the textures to them. I realized I should have sliced the whole pizza texture since I had to fit the texture UVs to that slice, and that was too much trouble. Luckily, PNG files don't discard color information of transparent pixels, and I was able to repair the texture. For added finesse, I bump map the surface of the pizza using the same texture map, and what that does is it makes the toppings appear like they're popping up. With that done, I texture up the slice as well using a different texture image, but mapping the toppings in a similar manner. Then I build a simple plate, pop the pizza on it, and slide it over to the computer desk. I briefly attempted to bump map the keyboard as well, but for some reason it didn't quite work. With that done, I decided to build a canned drink as well. I spent some time finessing the can shape, and then popped into GIMP to develop the label. I tried many things, but eventually settled on a simple pattern. I built a text on the can by typing and stylizing some text, and using a different texture image for the nutrition facts and ingredients. I place everything in using a screen blending option. After some tweaking of the levels, the text glows nicely and looks as though it has been printed directly on the label. The texture goes on in Blender. Very conveniently, Blender allows me to cylindrically unwrap the mesh, making this step dead easy. I decide to finish up the can by grabbing the top of a can in an image. Mapping that to the top of our can concludes the endeavor. And there we go! That's the last of the modeling and texturing. We've now reached the end of the project. All that's left to do is to enjoy the fruits of our labor by means of a set of renders. And that's it. That wraps it up for this entire series. The plays came out much better than I expected, and of course credit must go to the people who have supplied all the texture maps. So yeah, do pop open the video description, you will find links to the original textures. They have been very generous to license their textures under the Creative Commons license, which is of course what enables me to use it in this commercial context. So once again, many thanks to the creators of all the textures. So yeah, that basically wraps it up for this season of Speed Model. All the work you've seen there has taken about 15 hours, give or take a little. So yeah, it's not a particularly difficult project. I'm sure if I wanted things to look more realistic, it would have taken more time. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed watching this series as much as I've had making it. But that's basically it, that is the end. Thank you very much for watching this entire series. I will put all the videos in a playlist, so if you ever want to go back and revisit them, they will be ready to watch. Anyway, that's it. That's all there is for this series. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, you're watching 0612 TV. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked this video, consider checking out the rest of my work on my channel. Alternatively, you may be interested in the last season of Speed Model. If you'd like to show me some monetary support, I am on Patreon. You can find a link to my campaign in the video description. Of course, you can simply like this video or leave a comment. I'll be sure to respond as soon as I can. To keep in touch with my future uploads, do subscribe to this channel. And for even more updates, check out the official Twitter account for this channel at 0612TV. Thank you for your support.